All right, everyone. Welcome back. Monday Mayhem on the Prepared Mind channel. Here's the intro. Screw your freedom. Guess who says that?
Screw your freedom.
All right, it's showtime, folks. Monday, March the 16th. The Ides of March are upon us. It is becoming overly apparent. It's not just frustration. It's not just a disagreement. We're now coming to the point where the perils that we face as the rightful sovereigns in this nation, it's becoming apparent that we have zero representation in the White House, in Congress, in the media. It is coming down to you and I, the real Americans, fighting the rest of this ugly machine. I'm going to go through a few things. You are not going to like what I'm going to tell you. You're not going to like it. The question is, what are you going to choose to think about the world we live in? And what are you prepared to do to restore our country to a constitutional republic? Make no mistakes, folks. I'm not calling for violence. Make no mistakes, folks. I don't have to. It is coming. Megyn Kelly. Does everyone remember Megyn Kelly? Oh, yeah, that blonde lady from Fox News. Very attractive. Been around a long time in media. Well, she got slammed out of Fox News. Same with Tucker Carlson. How about that? What a freaking coincidence. Megyn Kelly, folks, basically got attacked, slammed by President Trump because she made a disgusting comment about Mark Levin. I think I read that one. She said Mark Levin has a tiny dick. While I can't attest or, to it or deny it or affirm it, I would be willing to bet that he has a tiny dick. If I were to put money on it, sure, Mark Levin has a tiny dick. So he threw a fit. But understand why. Nobody who is an American likes Mark Levin. It's because he is a criminal, an Israeli first. He is a fuck America parasite who crowned Trump the Jewish president of America. Folks, game time is now coming to an end. Everyone who is going to pick a side has picked a side. We had just a little bit of media fighting for us. I'll say some names. Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated, and the Israelis have their fingerprints all over it. From the Israeli security detail to the Israeli who jumped up and said, I did it, to the fact that the crime scene was completely scrubbed before the FBI got there. Yeah. That was one of our media stars that loved America. And then you have Megyn Kelly, who's being discussed in this segment, and Tucker Carlson. Right there, the most beloved American media. And Israel hates them because they refuse to sell out to Israel. They refuse to toe the line, to claim that Israel is the chosen people. So now that Mark Levin has revealed who he is and what he supports, and has let us know that he's a despicable, slimy weasel of a rat. Yes, folks, people like Mark Levin have always been associated with rats. Mark is mad at Kelly because she won't join his side. So he has been attacking her and Tucker and saying they're the biggest threat to America. No. They're the biggest threat to what they want for America. So Mark is mad at Kelly. He attacks her, then tells Trump to attack her. And Trump is now threatening media with charges of treason while he uses the American military, our wealth, our country, our assets, our allies to attack a nation that many military experts said was not a threat at all to the United States of America. Not a threat at all to the United States of America. Crazy business, folks, and it's not going to get less crazy. Oh, tiny hat indeed, Diving Frog. Questions, comments down below. I request all caps, please. Let us continue, if we shall. There's a big news story out there. Oh, I'm going to get to something that's just going to make you puke in a minute. But before we get to that, Cuba. Its electrical grid suffers a complete blackout across the nation. Nikki said, so I told John earlier that she heard Cuba has a complete power system collapse. The whole island blackout from an energy crisis. Well, that little picture there of Nikki on the Duke, good picture. Anyways, back to Cuba. Cuba's electrical grid is out because the United States of America has denied Cuba energy, oil, to keep their island going. Well, folks, Cuba is showing us what communism does. It reduces everyone to an equal level of suffering, an equal level of misery. And now, interestingly, our nation is following the communist playbook while pretending to be superior to the Cuban-style communism. The reason we're not that bad yet is because we haven't failed all the way yet. Our nation is following the communist playbook, folks. Washington, D.C., they want diversity, equity, and inclusion. They want equity and fairness, which means an equal distribution of wealth, aka communism. Look around. Who is rich? The bankers. Who is rich? The financiers. Who is rich? The mega corporations. What religious belief system do you think most of them abide by? Oh yeah, folks. And by the way, communism is a Jewish political idea that was created to help them as a people destroy nations and bring them down. But as long as they are wealthy, they demand that the chosen people always, folks, always take from others, and they win while the rest of the world suffers. All nations suffer under communism, folks, and this is going to become much more apparent by 2028. That's 2026, John. Oh, it's been moving much faster, huh? When laws are passed, folks, to give preferential treatment to everyone but people like you and me, everyone but the producers of wealth, everyone but the working class in America. And Zionists will always get their vig from the Goyim. They'll always get their share from us. And it doesn't have to be a fair share because they're the chosenites. But you don't have to believe me. Do your own research. You don't have to believe me. Look around. Think about where this country was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Look at the way things operated and look at it now. All you have to do, if you don't believe me, is wait and watch. And we're all going to get to experience what the masters, folks, the chosenites, have in mind for us. It is not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. Okay, folks, comments down below. Trump has announced that the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, under his man that he appointed, Brendan Carr, is going to review the licenses of corrupt networks for fake news. For fake news in coverage of the war with Iran. Now, interestingly, the United States government isn't giving us the full story. The United States government, Washington, D.C., is withholding information. They're lying about what is going on. They're not showing us what's happening in Israel. They're not showing us what's happening to our military bases that other countries have entrusted the military with, that is now being used, these bases, to fire missiles into Iran. And Iran is retaliating and hitting them. How good is it? How good is it? We don't know. How bad is it? We don't know fully. We don't. But they want to revoke licenses. The the government folks in Washington, D.C., they want to review any media that doesn't push their political propaganda. But the federal government won't have the Security and Exchange Commission, the SEC, investigate, indict, and prosecute the big banks, the financiers on Wall Street who steal from the retirement of you, me, and every single American every single day. But why would Trump care? Trump said he doesn't need us anymore. He says we're idiots. Trump doesn't need us. He told us gas prices going up. It's not his concern. His campaign against Thomas Massie proved his words and has turned against voters. And folks, voters have turned against him now. The example I want to use is in Congressman Massie's home state. Trump flew in with Air Force One to push the candidate that competes, the same candidate who's gotten at least $25 million from AIPAC, which is the America-Israeli Pedophile Action Committee. They brought in Trump. He spoke, and what was a relatively close political race, Thomas Massie pulled even further ahead. I think he picked up another 15 points. The crowd did not like what Trump was saying. America is not happy with Trump, what he is doing and what he is saying. Fake news, by the way, is no longer fake. All you have to do to be fake news is say something that President Trump and the Epstein administration doesn't want to hear. So I want to know is, what is Trump hearing? A lot of people have told me, John, Trump is surrounded by people giving him bad information. Okay, great. Then he is at fault for trusting people to not give him the right information, for putting only people around him who would lie about the state of the economy, his approval numbers with the people of this country, the actual facts about what's going on around the world. I guess that's what he is hearing. And it's so far from the truth that instead of getting mad at them, he's pissed off at us. Maybe Trump's staff and their allegiance to Israel and giving Trump false reports about military success and failures, maybe that's the problem. Maybe he's just taking it out on us. I don't know. What I do know, though, is I am fucking disgusted with what they're doing to our country. Our country. It's not his country. He's not the fucking king. He's not. He is, at this point now, very damaged. Very damaged. Comments, questions down below. I'm now going to give you a little bit more, another taste of what is happening that is not serving us well. You guys know the name Greg Bovino. Well, he is the border commander, right? Not the top guy in charge, but the border commander for what? Was it Border Patrol and ICE? Guess what he's done? After decades of service to this country, he's retired out. Fuck it. You want to take a fat guess why? You can. Why did Greg Bovino, who showed his face around the country as he worked with ICE, he worked with Border Patrol, He worked with the Department of Homeland Security to try and secure this country. He had his fucking legs cut out from under him. That's why I think he retired. That's my take. He was kept from doing his constitutional sworn duty because the Epstein administration decided that criminals who have come from other nations, who have raped our women, brought in drugs, disease, crime, Trump has decided they can stay, and he called them good people. Oh, they work on farms. We've had some of these farm workers turn around and attack, kidnap, rape, and murder Americans, and he calls them good people. He's pulled the entire deportation program out by its roots and pissed all over it. 50 million, at least total, 50 million foreigners in this country. At least 25 million of them are illegals. And they're not leaving because they're getting free housing, free food, free fucking ride all the way around. Plus, they get to victimize Americans. Americans who have been civilized, brought up, grown up, lived in a civilized country where you hold the door for someone on the way out of a restaurant, a store, any place, where you're courteous to other people, where you don't take advantage of them, where you don't see someone who's weak and say, that's someone I can fuck up, someone I can rob, someone I can kidnap, someone I can rape. That's what these foreigners see as weakness in our civility. So if they don't respect weakness, or as we call it, civility, maybe they'll understand violence, extreme violence, turned on them. Oh, they'll understand that in a fucking heartbeat. I've seen plenty of videos where one of these illegal dumb fucks gets out of line, mouths off, or assaults an American when there's a real man around, and they get their ass handed to them. But that's not enough. It's not enough, folks. Good people, my ass. We're in big trouble, folks. We're in big trouble. I'm going to give you some more stuff here. But when I get you the big enchilada, you're going to shit your pants. Right-wing mainstream media had this to say, folks. Understand this. Right-wing mainstream media says Iran's Islamic terror regime is in full meltdown as its days are coming to an end. So and folks, I'm no lover of terrorism. I am no lover of Islam. I don't give a fuck. But do you believe this headline? That Iran's Islamic terror regime is in full meltdown? If that were the case, why would Trump give a flying fuck about what any media has to say? Because all he would have to do is show the videos, show the proof, show the evidence of an Iran on its knees. And he could show dancing Israelis, happy as, well, rats in shit. Dancing like they danced on 9/11. But they're not dancing. In fact, there's no media allowed to leak out of Israel. I wonder why. What I have seen that has been leaked is a city that is starting to look like Gaza. And I'm thinking sometime tonight, Iran is going to really drop a boatload of shit. They're going to drop bombs. Iran is threatened. Their biggest, most powerful, and they're going to turn Tel Aviv into a fucking wasteland. We'll see if they're lying or if they're telling the truth, right? See, that's what media is supposed to do. That's what media is supposed to do. But what are they doing? They're fucking lying to us. Do you believe this headline that Iran's Islamic terrorist regime is in full meltdown? I don't know. I was told that Netanyahu's alive. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chin. All right. There we go. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm going to incorporate that right in there, Chin. Now, I saw a video of Netanyahu with 6 fingers on his right hand. And so they released another video, Israel did, this time of Bibi Netanyahu at a coffee shop. And we discussed this last night, that his coffee cup was tilted severely and his coffee just stayed flat and did not pour out. Fucking miracle. And so the Iranians released a video of their new supreme leader in the same fucking coffee shop, showing his hands that didn't have extra fingers. And then someone created a picture of Elvis in that coffee shop. Let's see, Emmanuel Macron was in that coffee shop. All kinds of people in that same coffee shop. So Israel releases another one of Netanyahu out on the balcony talking to people. Whoops, he had a ring on his finger, and then the ring disappeared off his finger. Once more, AI slip-ups. They aren't very good at checking their work before they release it, right? Where is Netanyahu? Why is Trump asking for China to help at the Strait of Hormuz and the closure there? Why ask for help if Iran is about to surrender because they're in absolute chaos? Now, the other reports I've heard are Iran is refusing to surrender since they see themselves as winning, holding their own. The question I have for you is, what do you think? Literally, what do you think? You know, I think that we're in big fucking trouble is what I think. Our government has sold us out. Literally sold us out. Have you guys heard about the Rochester man? He raped 2 girls. Notice how they didn't call him an American. He's a Rochester man. He's another low IQ piece of shit. Raped a 4-year-old and raped a 9-year-old. And guess what he got? 180 days in jail. That's all he got. That's what our government gives us, folks. They give us no fucking justice. I'm surprised he got any days. They'll probably let him out in a fucking month. But we're told to back the blue or you'll be beaten black and blue. The judge in Washington, D.C., this absolutely piece of shit judge, Carl Nichols, has rejected the excessive force, this claim made by a January 6er. You might remember who this woman is. Her name is Victoria White, and she was nearly beaten to fucking death. Oh, other people were beaten to death, but she lived. Justice has failed us, folks. Oh, Rochester, Minnesota. Thank you, sir. Did I say Rochester, New York? My mistake. Rochester, Minnesota. We know who lives in Minnesota. A bunch of Somalians. Now, back to this fucking judge, Carl Nichols, piece of shit. Victoria White was the woman who was pinned and held against a wall by the police, who then punched her in the face over 30 times with a closed fist. She says, hey, the officer called me a bitch and then hit me again and again and again. And the judge throws it out, rejects her claim. The cop, by the way, his name is Jason Bagshaw. Write that fucking name down. Jason Bagshaw. Jason Bagshaw was the punch master to the face. Remember his name, folks. In addition to brutal beatings like this, dished out by the police, on that day, 4 Trump supporters were killed on January 6th. But don't worry, the illegals won't be held accountable. They won't be thrown in the fucking prison, denied medical help, denied legal assistance, denied food, beaten, tortured. That's our fucking government now, folks. I want you to think about what I just told you. Think about what I just told you about what the government does to Americans. They steal our money. They send our sons and daughters to war. They spend our fucking money on wars that benefit other countries. They won't go after and arrest illegals. They won't deport them out of our country. They keep giving them our fucking money. And now they're saying the media is bad. The media is so bad, get this. Trump says, quote, I actually think it's pretty criminal. That's right. Trump says the media, quote, could be in serious jeopardy. How is that? It's the media. Well, they're pushing Iranian disinformation. And Trump says media outlets need to be, quote, brought up on charges for treason. Treason. For talking and sharing an opinion Trump doesn't agree with. Treason. We're at a crossroads, folks. We're now at a crossroads. When a government doesn't release the facts about a war, people are rightfully mad and they look for answers elsewhere. And then they want to talk about those answers. But when a government lies to its people, propagandizes us, bullshits us, the people get rightfully mad. And we start looking for reasons why our own government would lie to us, withhold information from us. Folks, when a president promises to the people who elected him to do a job, and then he pivots 180 degrees the opposite direction, then he just lies about his promises altogether. We, the people, have a right to be extremely concerned about what the fuck is going on. What an administration says that has the most heinous crime syndicate needs to be protected, right? When an administration, the Trump administration, I mean, the Epstein administration says that the most heinous crime syndicate needs to be protected. Otherwise, governments will fail if they reveal who these heinous fucking criminals are. We, the people, now I see treason. I see vile corruption. And I see a tyrannical government protecting itself and reserving for itself power while hiding its crimes. The president is taking advice from a non-administration, non-government solicitor, his own son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who says to the president of the United States, he says to attack a foreign adversary, Iran. And the president acts on that advice coming from his son-in-law, who is not an expert in military or anything. We, the people, question the sanity and the patriotism of the president. And we look, good God, folks, we look at this and we ask the most poignant question. Who is benefiting from this war? Who benefits? Because it's not us. The answer is not the American people are benefiting. The answer is the beneficiaries of the attack on Iran benefit the exact same people, organizations, and nation that benefited from Trump hiding, denying, and lying about the Epstein files. But media is to blame. Media is treason. Now, don't forget, folks, the media in this country is also funded and owned by Zionist Israelis. And they are the benefactor of the war. Right? No, that's not the media that Trump must be talking about then, right? No, he wouldn't want to talk about that media. The media being blamed is the independent media that has steadfastly researched, investigated, and identified the crimes, the criminals, and the facts, which have been called a conspiracy theory for years and years and years. Trump is attacking Megyn Kelly. Trump is attacking Tucker Carlson. The CIA has broken into Carlson's emails and communications, and they're threatening to investigate and arrest him. Meanwhile, we have non-government employees telling Trump, they don't have security clearance, they don't have expertise, telling Trump to attack another fucking nation. No problem there, right? We're conspiracy theorists for wanting facts. Unfucking believable, folks. The media being blamed is not agreeing to ignoring millions of pages of evidence. The media that is being blamed is all of us, because we're not ignoring the millions of pages and evidence and testimony pointing directly at the Trump administration, its financial supporters, and its financial beneficiaries. Trump told us to ignore it. It's a hoax. Quit asking about it. Stop asking about it. Quit paying attention. Right? The media, those of us out here fighting for facts, fighting for our country, fighting for our Constitution, the media being accused of treason is the same media pointing at those facts that have been revealed. The facts that our own nation, our own military, our own laws and Constitution, our people and our wealth are being plundered and sabotaged by the same bankers, politicians, corporations, and financiers that bribe and blackmail the president and Congress to fight a war on their behalf to make their nation, Israel, a regional superpower. And as a consequence, as a result of those actions taken, our allies have been neglected and damaged. Our real allies. We have Middle East allies that supply us with cheap energy, oil. They're being neglected now. They're pulling all of their systems out to go protect Israel. Korea, South Korea rather, has had their THAAD, T-H-A-A-D missile systems removed, and they're being relocated to protect Israel. So we've abandoned South Korea. And the first thing North Korea does is start launching missiles. Launching missiles. And talking a bunch of shit too. Kim Jong-un talking all kinds of shit. Japan is now left on their own. Another ally left on our own. Or on their own. Our allies are being neglected and damaged. Why? Because Washington, D.C., the Epstein administration, chose to serve Israel first. But we, for noticing, are the traitors. The very fucking people who pay taxes, you, work hard to pay for ourselves. And we pay to take care of this nation from the top to the bottom. And the same people who have had our food poisoned, our air poisoned, our medicine and vaccines are poisoned, our water poisoned, and the minds of our youths in school have been turned against the very principles and virtues of the Constitution, and that's freedom for everyone. All while our government allows 50 million illegals to stay in our nation, parasitically draining our wealth and consuming social resources. But Trump just wants us to play along with the bullshit, huh? Washington, D.C. wants us to just buy into their left-wing, right-wing propaganda crap. Oh, it's the Democrats. Oh, it's the Republicans. No, it's both fucking sides. Treason, Mr. Trump, is giving support, aid, money to our nation and our nation's military to another country whose own leadership, Bibi Netanyahu, has been filmed for all time, all prosperity, telling us in his own words how his own nation is going to destroy the United States of America. Bibi Netanyahu is that leader who says we, America, are his golden calf to literally bleed dry, to cut into pieces, and to destroy it as a welfare state for anti-Western hating Arabs and communists. Treason is not serving this nation, folks. Treason is enriching oneself at a nation's expense and turning our nation and control of it over to another. All of Congress is evil, with very limited exceptions. The Epstein administration is evil. Democrats and Republicans are evil, making decisions that protect child raping, satanic cannibals who hate the white race above all other races. But don't worry, they still hate blacks. They still hate Hispanics. They still hate Native Americans. They still hate Asians. And they want everyone destroyed and replaced with these low IQ, inbred, dumb fucks out of other countries. Nobody is safe from Israel in our nation right now. No other nation around the world is safe either, if they have this satanic blackmail scheme in place. What nations are resisting it? Russia, China, Iran, now Poland, Hungary, Slovakia are saying no more, or we never did let all these illegals in. These are satanic blackmail schemes, folks. Who are the traitors? Who's committing treason? Folks, free speech is not treason. Being able to criticize your government, criticizing the government's decisions, criticizing them, calling them, accusing them of corruption, treason, and criminal behavior is completely allowed. It's called the First Amendment to the Constitution. When the government turns free speech into a crime, you know they're tyrants and they're coming for us all. Oh, don't worry, they're arming themselves. Let's do this. I want to get to your guys' thoughts. It's go time, folks. I've got a lot more to talk about, but if I see good comments from you guys come up, let's talk about it. Here is Chin Music. He says, John, I had someone ask why I had so much vitriol for Bibi. The answer, he lied about weapons of mass destruction to get us to attack Iraq. And I lost a family member and a close friend. Second, what he said in the article I sent. The article you sent. Now I got to find that article. I've got so many things that have been sent to me, Chin. Look, I get it. Bibi's a fucking liar. He's a piece of shit, and he's probably dead because we haven't seen any real evidence that he's alive. I haven't seen any real evidence that he's alive. He's told us exactly who he is. He has talked about for decades how he uses propaganda, how the nation of Israel uses propaganda, uses their lobbying, buys our government, controls our government. There's no doubt in my mind who these people are and what they're up to. All right. I've got to get this going here. How the heck? 1 second. I just got something here. There it is. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chin. Folks, 2001 video remarks. In 2001, on Israel's Channel 10, and it was aired in 2010. It's a 2001 recording, aired in 2010. Netanyahu was caught speaking privately about his ability to influence United States government policy. On manipulating the United States, he stated, quote, I know what America is. America is a thing you can move very easily. Move it to the right direction. They won't get in the way. I heard far, far worse than this. And yeah, that's maddening. It's frustrating. It fucking pisses me off. But he talks about how they use America, how they lie to America, how they control America. Israel and Israelis and Zionists and Jews have admitted time and time and time again that the Holocaust was a fraud, that Anne Frank, the Diary of Anne Frank, was a fraud, and that they use it to manipulate everyone into feeling sorry, having pity, giving in to their demands, and of course, they get paid reparations by everybody. It is a fucking joke, except it costs the whole world money. It costs the whole world money. Meanwhile, we don't really know how bad Tel Aviv is, but we do know that Israel is now planning, folks, a massive ground invasion of Lebanon. Of course, it's to wipe out Hezbollah. But I read a quote the other day. Well, you go kill Hezbollah or Hamas or anyone else, and you kill every other single person, man, woman, and child. Just like they did in Gaza, by the way. Expect to see the same fucking thing up in Lebanon. Quote, we are going to do what we did in Gaza, end quote. I see mass murder, genocide, lies and deception. Women and children get no mercy. Food and water are weapons. Rape is Israel's war tool to use on girls, women, and even men. And that is also sanctioned by Talmudic rabbis to use against non-Jews or goyim. Oh yeah, I listen to this fucking guy, folks. There are rabbis everywhere. These Zionist, radical, Talmudic rabbis are everywhere, talking about how they can rape, rob. We are their servants. We're their slaves. We're cattle. We're disposable. If they continue into Lebanon, it is going to be a real pretty atrocity, and the world will witness it. What's the world going to do? Why can't we stop that? What do you think it would take to stop Israel, folks? I know Iran is launching all kinds of missiles. Isn't there a better way to stop them? How about if we cut off Israel's energy supplies, like Cuba, and watch the whole nation of Israel go black? Refrigeration will go out. Their food will spoil. Their medicine will spoil. Don't worry. It's just to get the government to give up its evil regime. That's what we're doing to Cuba, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing to Iran, right? When you have a genocidal, maniacal, evil fucking regime, that's what you're supposed to do, is starve everybody out. That's what the Israelis did to people in Gaza. Starved them, denied them water. Oh, and when they did bring food in, they would bomb the food trucks. They would just fucking kill everybody trying to get food and water. Right? That's what they're doing to Iran. We're supposed to believe that they're hurting the government so bad by killing lots of people that they'll just give up. That's what they're doing in Cuba. They denied them energy. The nation is black. There's no food. There's already food problems. Folks in Florida here, I've talked to many Cubans, many Cuban exiles, Cuban escapees. I even work with a Cuban. And they got this thing called the bag. If you've been a really good Cuban, you get a bag full of food, a little bit of rice and beans. It is an awful fucking place, and it's not going to get better. But that's how you stop a country that's evil, that has communist principles like Cuba, that is a religiously radical country like Iran. Well, Israel is very communist-like, very radical, very religiously radical. Just listen to their leaders. They say God gave them everything thousands of years ago. And now that they have modern weapons that they've stolen from the West, yes, stolen, they now feel like they're in a position to exercise military destruction and rain down on the rest of the world until they get what they want. Oh, it's going to be a real pretty fucking atrocity, folks. Armageddon, it's coming. It's coming. Folks, now I said, we as Americans, we want these illegals out. It's not just American patriots. It's not just Republicans. It's not just any one part. It's all of the country. 80% of this country or more has admitted in public polling that they want these fucking illegals out of here. And now that we've actually had terror incidents where Aloha Snack Bar is being screamed at the top of their lungs as they kill people and blow things up and toss bombs, Americans want these fuckers out. We want third world immigration stopped and reversed. Deport every single illegal invader. No amnesty. They're here criminally. They're here fraudulently. They're here committing fraud. All these Somalis, all these Indians, from India, these Pakistanis, all of these fucking people. They have nothing in common with our laws, our culture, our religion, our traditions, nothing. They're here to steal from us and take advantage. That's it. We're being fucking lied to on a daily basis. Right? Now, I want to review one thing. Remember over the weekend, some ROTC students, those would be military students, at Old Dominion ended up beating the shooter there to death with their bare hands. The shooter attacked at Old Dominion University. He killed at least one person, injured several others, but he didn't last long. And the people that attacked him and stopped him, ROTC students. They leaped into action, subdued him until he didn't breathe anymore. In other words, they killed him with brutal beating to protect themselves and others. Those are patriots. Where was the FBI in all this? I bet they knew this fucking killer. I bet they knew him. I bet they knew who this mass murderer was, that he was on their radar, that he just slipped through the cracks like every other motherfucker. And then to take that tragedy, the Democrats in Virginia said, see, you don't need guns to defend yourself against, gun-toting criminals. You can kill them with your hands. That's their fucking thinking. People died. People were injured. But we don't need guns. And these same Virginia fucking politicians, these piece of shit sellouts that are part of the Epstein administration's secondary level, and that's what they are to me. They've sold out to the same fucking people. They're taking their marching orders from the same fucking people. They're getting paid by the same fucking people who are not Americans, who don't put America first. Guess what they did? They made sure the legislation they passed, they made sure the legislation they passed doesn't include them. That's right. They exempted themselves from the rules. When a government exempts itself from the rules they want us to live by, that tells you there's a elite government and us peasant pissant servants. That's a mentality that the Israelis have. That unless you're on their team, you're second class. Hell, you don't even get class. You're a fucking slave. You're goyim. You're animals. You're cattle to them. But don't worry, as long as you work hard for them, the bad guys, the evil, they'll let some of us live. Redneck Roughneck checks in and says, God gave us certain inalienable rights, and they are listed in the Constitution. They're talked about in the Declaration of Independence. They're delineated in the Bill of Rights. They're confirmed by Supreme Court decisions. Yet our government doesn't give a fuck about any of that. Thank you, Redneck Roughneck. They don't give a fuck. They just don't give a fuck. Period. We'll get that down there. How's that? There we go. Thank you, Redneck Roughneck. I appreciate that. Robin says, I agree. The wagon is full and we have layoffs happening and we can't afford to carry the load any longer. Oh, yeah. The wagon is full. In other words, there's no more room in this country for more people. We're heading into a recession, depression, big time now. Inflation is all over us. We're going to be visited by inflation, stagflation. We're also going to have deflation on products that you don't need and you can't afford anyway. But we're going to still continue to bring in, these illegals with no skills, no fucking social graces, no morality, and an inbred low IQ. We're gonna bring them in, huh? Don't worry, you, my friends, will get bred in circus. They're telling us now, folks, NASA is that they're going back to the moon. Did you see that coming? Was that on your radar? Did you expect that to be a fucking issue? There's no money for North Carolina. and people who had their houses destroyed. There's no money for anyone in Florida who had their houses. There's no money in California for the fire victims down south or up north. There's no money for Lahaina, Maui in Hawaii. But there's money to send us back to the moon. The Artemis II SLS rocket is ready. And NASA's crewed lunar mission may launch as soon as, get this fucking date they give us, April 1st. Have you heard anything about this? Can you believe this bullshit? Folks, the Apollo moon landings were over 50 fucking years ago. And now, without any public fanfare, no PR bullshit, and no lead up to the actual return to the moon. Folks, back then, they had to prove every step of the way with their bullshit PR. Like, we gotta get into space. We got to go around. We have to have someone get out of the spaceship. We have to go up with 2 spaceships and have them dock. Then we have to travel to the moon and then come all the way back before we can even think about doing anything and landing on the moon. Right now, they're just like, fuck it, we're going back. You guys don't need to know anything about it. Just trust us. April 1st. And we're supposed to believe it with all of the other artificial intelligence horse shit, while they threaten us with not just illegal aliens, folks, but fucking galactic aliens. Oh, the aliens are coming. You humans get out of line. Don't you know that Israel is the chosen people? And what's terrible is the fucking traditional, old school, Torah reading and obeying Jews. They're going to get blamed. They're going to get blamed for what Israel's doing around the world. Tucker Carlson being threatened by the the U.S. CIA. Criminal referral for an alleged bullshit FARA violation. Right? FARA violation. How about our senators leaving our country and making peace deals and treaties, supposedly, with other fucking countries? That's not their job. That's not their role. That's not their authority. How about fucking Jared Kushner, who can't pass and hasn't passed a fucking background check to work for the American government? He's making deals on our behalf. He's in other countries talking to their leaders. He's giving the president information on which he acts against the good advice of others who say, don't fucking do it. But Tucker Carlson, bad. Megyn Kelly, bad. The American people, bad. Illegals, good people. Israelis, good people. The rest of the world, bad people. Redneck Roughneck says it'll be the first moon landing, but Elon Musk has a better chance of landing on the moon than the April 1st Fool's Day NASA astronauts? Notstronauts. I think they're notstronauts. They're bullshit and faking. Their AI is awful as well. NASA's AI is awful. Nikki has this to say, like the Chabad, that's the Chabad Lubavitch, is the Zionist, satanic, Israeli organization. Nikki says, like the Chabad around the corner from us, it doesn't have enough money. Meanwhile, they've got dozens of people all over Capitol Hill holding the president's hand, following around and directing the vice president, Secretary of State, everybody in the White House. There's little men in little black coats with little black hats on everywhere. They're all over fucking Congress throwing money around. But then, of course, they claim they're broke. The same people, folks, own the corporations, own sporting teams, own financial thing, own fucking banks, but they're broke. Thought you should know. I've had enough of this, folks. I'm extremely done with it all. I'm not quitting. I'm not stopping. I just want everyone to know they're not fooling us. Do not allow yourself to be fooled. Do not allow yourself to be tricked. Do not allow yourself to be told what you see, you don't see. What you hear, you don't hear. What you don't know. Listen to them. I say listen to yourself. There's all kinds of stories out here. How do you know what to believe? Are you going to believe the lawyers? Are you going to believe the politicians? Are you going to believe the foreign governments demanding we serve them, give them money, and fight a war for them? Who are you going to believe? You going to believe fucking communists? Are you going to believe Muslims? I don't believe any of these fucking people. I believe in America, and I believe what I know and I see and I've learned in my 56 years on this fucking rock. But I've got to tell you, I am disgusted by our government at every fucking level because of what they have done and what they refuse to do, which is live up to their oaths. People are pulling out their weapons. I'm not telling anyone to do anything wrong or illegal. Right? People are dusting them off and cleaning them up, and they understand now. You're not alone, folks. I'm not alone. We are not alone in this. America is waking up, and guess what? Our nation's enemies do not like it. And Chin Music brings us up at the perfect time. It's almost like the Israelis, Chabad Lubavitch, AIPAC, which is the American Israeli Pedophile Action Committee, the Epstein clients, the Epstein buddies, hell, the Epsteins themselves. It's almost like they, who I just described, are creating anti-Semitism. So they can blame anti-Semitism for what's going on. Oh, we're noticing, we're catching them. But see, their arrogance is off the fucking hook. It is on purpose. They are flexing their muscles, showing the whole world that they control America. And then when we notice and we say something, then they scream, we're anti-Semites. No, sorry, but the people claiming to be the chosen are not Semites. It's been proven with DNA research. In fact, it is so damning for them that it is now illegal as an Israeli to have your DNA looked at to see if you're Semitic. They're not Semitic. It's a fucking name. It's part of the thing. It's part of the scam that they tell us. There have been multiple Jews who go on their TV and our TV and their private conferences, and they say in front of microphones and cameras, they tell us, oh, that's a trick we always use. It silences opposition. Oh, they're going to try and pass the anti-Semite rule where you can't criticize them. I mean, we've had school shootings. We've had mall shootings and restaurant shootings. They had the synagogue in Michigan was attacked. Over 100 police cars showed up. School shooting happens, you get a dozen, maybe two. But, you go after and you shoot up, attack a synagogue? Oh, my God. Every cop for 100 fucking square miles shows up. Why? Because they're owned. Because they're owned. Now, this is Diving Frog. He says, John, yesterday I encountered a group of at least 30 Hindis, at a store. These people acted like they own this country. They were rude, obnoxious, and they stunk to high heaven. What the fuck? There you go. Now, down here in the great state of Florida, I've seen Muslims very polite, very polite. I've seen and met Indians, very polite, very polite. I don't know why, but they're very fucking polite. I'll also tell you that down here in the state of Florida, I go into ghetto areas, and guess who is very polite? Every fucking buddy. Very polite. Is it because I'm 6'6"? Is it because I'm 275 pounds? Do they suspect I'm packing a 45? I don't know what they think, but they're always very polite. But I tell you, there's a lot of people that make the claim that you just did, that when they're around these foreigners, that they're rude, they're obnoxious, they act like they own everything, and they fucking stink. We're all going to get a taste of it, a nose full of it. We're going to see it more with our eyes. We're going to hear it more with our ears. And we're going to feel it from the government. There's going to come a point. There's going to come a point where people start taking the law into their own hands. And I'm going to sit back and watch. I'm going to watch. I will tell you guys what I see. I don't know if it's going to happen here in Florida first, or if it's going to happen up in Illinois or Michigan, or if it's going to happen in Minnesota or California, New York. I don't know. Or is it going to happen everywhere when people say, finally, enough of this shit? Are we going to expel all of these people by force? Are we going to take our own government back at the city level and the state level and say, sorry, fuckers, you are fired? We get done cleaning up the mess that you dumb fucks made, and then we're going to have elections. And politicians will be held accountable. Lawyers will be held accountable. Judges are going to be held accountable. Like if you stood me up on a podium and then pointed at me and said, this is John. Has he committed treason? Anyone that has any evidence, bring it forth, right? Has he let criminals go? Has he caused criminals to attack anyone? Has he refused to arrest criminals? Has he, with his power, arrested and hurt anybody here? And there would be nobody to say anything. You put a judge up there. You put a lawyer up there. You put politicians up there. You're going to get a whole lot of different answers. There'll be people that are like, yeah, that motherfucker fucked me up, stole my money, robbed me. My life was ruined. My family was affected by those decisions. That's when accountability happens. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind. Very first thing you need to do, go to thepreparedmind.club, find out what you don't have so that you can get it, and use links there that'll take you to other stores that'll sell you prep items. Prep, get prepared, food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and your self-defense. Up any state that is touching or within 200, 300, 400 miles even of Virginia, you're going to run out of ammunition in the next few days. And the world, America especially, is waking up to who is running this fucking country, who is benefiting from what is being done by our country, and who is getting hurt in this country. Semper Fi, God bless you all.